Stress is definitely a big part of our kids' and ours lives. As a busy parent, you see the many factors that play a role in this for your own family. There are so many demands put on our kids at school, which include peer pressure, making the right choices when posting on social media, trying to juggle a hectic class schedule, and maybe work an after-school job. And bullying is at an all-time high for our kids these days. And these are the things that they face on a daily basis in their own little worlds. Well, then we have the outside world to deal with. The news is loaded with unpleasant realities, school shootings, distress happening in other parts of the world, poverty, then figuring out how to get into the college of their choice, and the financial burden that places on the student and, of course, his family. It's a lot. That's why today's episode, Everyday Practices to Help Your Child Feel Safe in a Scary World, is a topic I think a lot of parents can relate to. Hi, everyone. I'm Cheryl Butler, and you're listening to the Mighty Mommy's Quick and Dirty Tips podcast, which will help make your life as a parent a little bit easier and a lot more fun. Welcome. I'm looking forward to sharing some simple tips that will be really helpful in making your child feel safer and secure in this hectic world we live in. Raising well-rounded kids can be challenging in today's hectic and unpredictable world, but you can provide them with the emotional tools that they need to feel secure. If you want to cradle your child with a loving security blanket when life seems scary and uncertain, here are some everyday ways that you can keep him feeling safe and sound. First, you can provide your child with the 4 S's. As a huge fan of audiobooks, I'm thrilled to find a good listen that will help me better understand what makes my kids tick. I recently found a fantastic title that gave me, a veteran mom of 8, some helpful advice for helping my kids feel protected. It's called The Power of Showing Up by Daniel Siegel and Tina Payne Bryson. Stress is a common part of every child's life. So when they feel a secure bond with their parent, they can navigate through these insecurities with less anxiety and tension. In The Power of Showing Up, Siegel and Bryson promote the 4 S's. That means helping your child feel safe, seen, soothed, and secure. Find ways to disconnect with the outside world. Turn off your phone when you're having dinner as a family. Schedule regular time to hang out and play a board game, or just talk quietly after a meal. These are just a few simple but effective ways to show up and be present on a regular basis. These will become times that you and your kids treasure and hold sacred. When children feel safe, seen, which is being known and understood, and soothed, being helped to feel calm and good again, most of the time, not perfectly, they develop security, where their brain wires to expect that people will see their needs and show up for them. Parenting isn't easy, but showing up and being present is something we can all try to do, and that is a quote from Tina Payne Bryson. Next, establish boundaries and routines. One of the easiest ways that you can offer your child a safety net in today's hectic world is to establish boundaries and routines. Our kids not only need guidelines and structure, but they actually crave them. Yes, I kid you not. Deep down, all kids, even our moody teens, they crave boundaries regardless of individual temperament. When they have structure and routines and rules in place, it offers them a sense of security because they know what's expected of them. Boundaries help your child thrive by teaching them responsibility, consequences, and respect for others as well as themselves. This, in turn, helps to build their sense of self. The key to success in this arena, though, is your ability to be consistent. In my episode, Are You a Pushover Parent? 5 Ways to Stay Strong, I address the importance of routines and why boundaries are so important. Here's an excerpt. Not only do routines help keep order and structure in your home, though your kids might never admit it, they also help kids thrive and keep them grounded. In an article on pushover parenting, Dr. Eric Sigman, author of The Spoilt Generation, says, parents are in charge and children need rules and boundaries to make them feel secure. We need to trust our own instincts and not shirk our responsibility of being a parent. So implement routines and structure in your home environment, and you'll easily create a secure family foundation. Next, one of my favorites, choose your words and your tone carefully. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I learned this growing up, but there is nothing that seems further from the truth. Words hurt, and they can stick with us forever. Kids are bombarded with negativity in school, through peer interactions and social media exchanges. If they're exposed to criticism and cruel comments in their own homes, the damage to their self-esteem and their ability to feel safe can be devastating. When your child makes a mistake, think before you lash out and reprimand her. My 14-year-old daughter recently photographed her 17-year-old brother's messy bedroom, and shared the photos on Instagram because he wouldn't lend her money for the movies. I saw her act as a double whammy. Not only did she misuse her social media privileges to retaliate against her brother, she shared a glimpse into his private life. Had I acted on impulse, I could have said something hurtful like, "What the heck were you thinking? You are much smarter than that." Thankfully, I counted to 10, make that 100, and I asked her, how would she have felt if he had posted a picture of her bedroom on a morning when she couldn't decide between 20 different outfits for school? This approach helped her to understand that she definitely had made a bad choice. She wrote a huge apology to her older brother and quietly accepted the loss of her social media privileges for the next few weeks. Another tool to help foster security is your tone of voice. People, and kids especially, they tend to respond to a request when they hear a pleasant voice, rather than someone shouting or overreacting with an emotional tirade. In the case with my daughter, my tone of voice kept the tension levels low, and they allowed her to learn from her mistake rather than feel attacked. Minimize your kids' access to media violence. Exposure and violence in the media, including television, movies, music, and video games, affects how safe children and adolescents feel in their surrounding world. Research shows that by age 18, an American child will have seen 200,000 acts of violence via the media. Taking charge of the content our kids have access to on a regular basis can play a big role in how well they're able to separate real life from fiction. When you watch TV together, take the time to comment and ask your child questions about any episodes that might be problematic. Don't ignore an uncomfortable scene. Instead, give your child the chance to share his opinion. Now you have a golden opportunity to put things in perspective for him. Visit my Mighty Mommy page, this is episode 563, and check out the list of resources for parents on how to limit a child's access to television and video games that contain violent and inappropriate content. Now, my final tip is truly my favorite, and it's the one that I think offers the most impact. Practice loving actions. One of the simplest, yet often overlooked ways to build your child's sense of trust and security is to show them the love. If you were to ask my 8 kids what I do without fail each time I see them or say goodbye to them every day, I am positive that they'd all give you the same answer. I hug them, and I do mean hug because I'm a hugger, and I tell them I love them. Showing affection to children encourages them like nothing else can. When your child hears "I love you" or notices that you stop what you're doing to greet him with a loving smile when he enters a room, it means the world to him. That's true even for teens and college kids, although many would never admit it. When you display affection to your kids and other family members, you validate to them how important they are to you. That affirmation sends the best positive message that you could ever deliver. It helps to build their sense of trust and feelings of safety and security in many other areas of their life. And my mommy pro tip, try not to be in a rush when sending your child off to school or scurrying in to pick them up from practice. Take a moment to make eye contact, smile, and let her feel how much she means to you. Join the conversation and share your thoughts in the comments section at quickanddirtytips.com/mighty-mommy. The Mighty Mommy Facebook page or Twitter are also places that you can interact with me. You can also email me at mommy@quickanddirtytips.com. Listen and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. Next week, we'll talk about stress busters that busy families can use when trying to keep it all together and juggle work, kids, home, and your relationships. All of it. I have some simple tips that can help you lighten your load a bit more, so I hope you'll subscribe to the Mighty Mommy podcast through your favorite platform so you'll be notified when this episode becomes available. I hope you'll be able to take advantage of one or more of today's tips on helping your kids feel a bit more safe. As always, thanks so much for listening. And until next time, happy parenting.